Hey there, this is Rick with the Mercedes Diesel Guy channel, and this is my 2005 Mercedes ML320 project. Forgive the pun, I just don't know any other way to say this. I'm kicking this project into high gear. I bought the car a week ago today. That was last Sunday night. It is Sunday evening now, about 5 o'clock, and first load of parts is here, and I'm probably not going to be able to do much of anything before I lose light, except maybe unbox parts and just check over what I got. Just a brief bit of background on this. Sometimes I pretty much always do love living here in southern Tennessee, but especially when it comes to car stuff. I don't have to deal with inspections, but the registration process is so much easier here. Now, I'm originally from New Jersey and spent a good 14 years in Massachusetts, and my experience with the DMV in New Jersey, the RMV in Massachusetts, and whatever the hell they were calling it back in Quebec is just a lot of bureaucracy usually with getting a car registered, and usually it takes up your whole afternoon, if not your whole day. So here in Tennessee, the seller signed the title, put in his information, I put in my information, I took it down to the county clerk's office at the county courthouse, and as usual, I was in and out in 5 minutes, and I had license plates. And once again, also the insurance process was easy. I called my insurance company, and I had that done within a few minutes before I went down for registration. And what was it, Tuesday, I went to the county clerk's office to do the registration. I've been away for a few days. I came back today, and in my mailbox I already have the title in my name for the new car. So they work fast around here, and I really do appreciate that. So it's already legal and plated. I could drive it around if I wanted. I mean, I definitely don't want to do that right away. There's a couple of things I need to take care of. I know there's a power steering leak I need to investigate at least first. If not, at bare minimum, I need to top that fluid up, and it's just dirty inside. But I digress. Like I said, I've been away for a few days. We left Wednesday afternoon for an extended weekend in Orlando. We came back today, left about 5 a.m. Central Time, and it's just past 5 p.m. now. We got back probably an hour ago, so 11 hours on the road with 2 kids, really not too bad, all things considered. But as you can tell, I've been up since an ungodly hour, and I'm a little out of it, so I'm going to start unboxing parts and show you what I got. Okay, so this box actually arrived before my trip, and I opened it, but I kind of forgot what was in it. But here it is. This is a new engine oil dipstick. This is not original Mercedes. This is Dorman. It says it's correct for the car, so I'm going to have to check that out. I bought this because the top of the engine oil dipstick, the little handle was cracked off, which I'm sure makes it not quite as fun to deal with. So that's box number 1. Okay, here's box number 2. No idea specifically what's in it, but it's something I ordered off of Rock Auto. I used to order a lot more from them, but as enticing as their prices can be, they really do kill you on shipping sometimes. What's the magnet I got? This is a Javelin. Put it in here. These are new fog lights for the front bumper. Now, there's one of them already in the Mercedes, but I have no idea if it works or not. So I just ordered a new pair. Box number 2. So this is something I ordered off of Amazon. This, I'm pretty sure, is actually my air filter. Yep, engine air filter. And a workshop manual. Now, I've had these workshop manuals before. This one is by Brooklands Books over in the UK. I can't say these are great, but this was the only printed manual I could find available. I did order an electronic manual, which should be on its way shortly. So hopefully there's some good information in here. But, you know, better than nothing. Box number 3. Probably also something from Amazon. Ignore that buzzing in the distance if you hear it. It's a golf cart on the course across the street. Okay, this is my cabin air filter. Which, once I clean up inside the car, should help deodorize a little bit, hopefully. Next, this handy little mailer right here. Some things in here. This is some grill mesh to patch up some spots in the front grill, because a new Mercedes grill there would have been probably close to $100, and I wasn't about to pay that. So we've got an engine oil filter here. Let's not look at the brand here. I know people like to criticize different brands. These are new hood struts, so I'm definitely going to get those in today. That'll just take a moment. Next, I have this box here, which definitely has a little more weight to it. And just to give you an idea, I was just ordering stuff off the top of my head, the easy stuff to get, the stuff I knew I would need. Okay, this is power steering fluid. So the Mercedes takes Pentacin, I think CHF11S, and this stuff is supposedly compatible with that. I did look it up. It was definitely cheaper, and I need enough to flush the whole system. This should be, yeah, compatible. It says this fluid is compatible and approved for top-off and replacement of all power steering fluids, including Pentacin CHF. So there's that. So like I said, I know that there's a power steering leak, and I know that the previous owner must have been adding fluid, but I don't know if he added Pentacin CHF11S or something else, if he was adding maybe automatic transmission fluid, which most of my cars take for power steering fluid, or something else. I don't know. So I just don't know what's in there. I'm going to find the leak, flush it out, and hopefully repair the leak. Next, I have this rather large box, and I have an idea what's in here, but this box seems like it's way too big for what I think it is. It says on here, Crystal Eyes in Pro Car Wear, but I have no idea what that is. Okay, well, it is what I thought it might be, and it still seems like far too big a box. Let me move the shipping crate out of the way. So these are the new tail lights that I mentioned in the previous video. Like I said, I ordered the cheapest brand new pair I could get, which I think are rather ugly. But once again, it's it's about the cost. This pair cost me about 50 bucks. An original looking pair would have been probably double that or more. And used ones certainly didn't seem to be any bargain, so this is what they look like. Certainly, certainly not a high-end part, but like I said, the idea is that they'll work. However, I'm going to hold off installing these. The guy I bought the Mercedes from is selling a parts car and alluded to the possibility of selling me some parts off it. So I want to try to talk to the guy maybe this week if I can find some time. And I think the parts car had decent tail lights. I know the bumpers in that car were, I could tell from the pictures, the bumpers were destroyed. But hopefully I can get the rear hatch, maybe the tail lights. Supposedly the parts car has good tires, but it's been sitting for a few years, so I'm a little skeptical about how good they are. And let's see what else on that. I mean, right now, the asking price on the parts car is only a hair less than I paid for the runner. And honestly, I don't want to pay just as much for a non-runner. And I don't know if they would let the parts car go for a few $100s. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go handheld with the camera for the last unboxing of parts. So as you can see here, I've got this big honking box right here, and you can probably guess what's in it. But let me open the box here, and I'll show you. Once again, I have not opened this yet, so. There we go. And over here, as you can tell, it's another box from Rock Auto. And in this case, I ordered from Rock Auto because in this particular case, even with shipping, which was a lot, this was still the cheapest I could get this part. Oh, it's all this bubble wrap here. This is going to take a while to get out. Well, it's the rear bumper. So you have to take that out and take all the wrapping off it. I'm assuming it's going to be a similar kind of deal with this box here. This is the front bumper. This one I got off of Amazon. Amazon did have a front and rear bumper available. But the rear bumper they had, even with the free Amazon Prime shipping, cost more than the Rock Auto bumper with shipping. This one, the front bumper off of Amazon, of course, with Amazon shipping, was the best deal. So anyhow, I'm gonna unbox these now, maybe try to stick the bumpers on the car, see how they look, and then I will at least install the hood struts. So let me get to that. Okay, well, I'm at the point where I'm going to call it a day, but the cosmetics are greatly improved. Now, I'm going to start here at the back because it is the absolute least spectacular part of the job. I have the new rear bumper just kind of sitting in place. It's not bolted on yet. I still have to locate some bolts for that, so it's gonna end up coming back off. I mostly just stuck it on so I could see what it would look like, and also just so I wouldn't have to store it somewhere in the garage. So next time I'm out here, I'll locate some bolts for that. Now, it does fit okay on this side here. I mean, clearly it still has to be bolted in place there, so it sticks out just a smidge. There's a gap here below the tail light, but I I watched an old Top Gear bit from the late 90s when Jeremy Clarkson first drove a Mercedes ML, and he did specifically comment on the gap here between the taillight and the bumper, so I think that's probably the way it's supposed to be. Over here is definitively more of a gap, so this corner took a bit more of a hit than I initially thought, but when I pull the taillight out, I am going to bang this out a bit. I have no illusions that this is going to end up being perfect, and that's certainly not the goal. I'm just going to try to make it better than it is, but even with just the bumper on there, it's already better. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to try or even be able to get the hatch off the other guy's parts car. I may end up just pounding this one out a bit, but we'll see what happens there. I mean, the tailgate is certainly mangled, but it does close, and I'm pretty sure it seals for the most part, so I'm not really concerned about that. Onto the front, which is substantially better. Here is the old front bumper. Now, I gotta be honest, I wasn't sure entirely what I was looking at, so when I ordered the front bumper, I wasn't sure if it was just going to be a skin to go over this or whatnot, but it turns out it was the skin and this whole structure, so I took this off and I bolted on the new one. And if there was more lighting, it would certainly look better, but I think it's a substantial improvement in the look to have a real bumper on there. Now, this new front bumper is, I can't tell if it's, I mean, supposedly it's primered, but to me it looks like it's black over gray right at the moment. I didn't really get a good look at it before I put it on. Once again, we're looking at panel gaps here, which I think are probably normal because I have all the bolt holes lined up the way they should be. Because once again, like I said, Jeremy Clarkson commented on the horrible panel gaps, and this vehicle does have the nickname, unfortunately, the Alabama trash can, so that might just be normal for this vehicle. But you know, you can tell right here that the front bumper is noticeably black, the rear is noticeably gray, and they're meant to be painted. That being said, I am not interested in doing body color for a few reasons. Even if I could, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could get the paint, but there's no way I would be able to paint them and make them look like correct and normal and like a factory paint job. Even if I could, that would look lopsided against the deterioration on the rest of the vehicle. Same if I took it to a body shop, which once again would defeat the purpose of me doing DIY work and having a project. So my plan instead is to try to mimic the look of a late 90s M-Class. Now this is an 02. Everything would have been painted body color. I'm not sure when they stopped, but at least in the 98s and probably the 99s, the bumpers were, I think, painted gray, as were these accent stripes, not sure what else to call them, on the side of the doors, and I think possibly the rockers. So what I'm going to do is actually do the bumpers and at least these strips, possibly the rockers, in black bed liner. And that should fairly well mimic the look of a 98. It's not, the idea is not to fool anybody, especially a Mercedes-Benz purist, because it's not going to fool anybody. But the idea is to create a more uniform and neat look. It's over a 20-year-old vehicle. It's fully amortized. Like I said in the last video, I got something like a 98.5% discount off the original sticker price. So the idea is not to spend a lot of money on it. So that's going to be one of the things I do in the near future. Originally, I was going to, bed liner, everything before I mounted it up to the car, but I had such trouble getting the bumpers on. It's not really a difficult process, but just getting everything to line up. I mean, I dropped them several times onto the ground. Not hard, but if I were to paint these beforehand, I would probably scratch them up pretty well. So I'm probably just going to mask everything off pretty good. I have not tried to install the new fog lights yet. I'm out of time. I do need to secure that cable in place, and the connectors also look a bit damaged, so assuming, or at least these I don't know if you can see these tabs seem to be broken, so I'm probably gonna have to work some zip ties into there. The only other thing I did was I installed the hood struts. Now the previous owner, kind of person who I suppose did not want to spend Mercedes money on the vehicle, had this PVC pipe for a hood prop, and it did the job. But I figured I could do better. The gas struts for the hood are not expensive, so I installed the new hood struts here. So I also installed these new hood struts. Really just took a minute. There's really nothing to it. So if you have trouble removing the old one, what you can do is you can pry this metal tab here out a little bit with a screwdriver and it'll help release it. But really the new struts just press on. So press on up here and down there on both sides, and I mean, this strut was entirely missing. So this works well now. The hood is not going to come crashing down on my head while I try to work on it. I think I'll probably also just, after I turn the camera off, if I can get this to focus, I'm sorry because it's dark, I will check the fit of that new dipstick. Other than that, I am done for the day. I'm out of light, but for probably an hour and a half of work, I'm really happy with this. The cosmetics are greatly improved, and I will take it from there. So this is Rick with the Mercedes Diesel Guy channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll bring you more in the next video.